Hiya mate. Today is the day that we talk about how Carnage is 100% a villain in Spider-Man PS5. I know for a fact that he's going to be in it, and I'm going to tell you all why now.
Okay, let's go.
So, starting off with things that we know already. We know that the game is going to be a lot darker than the first, and I don't really know how a game can be darker than an old woman dying. Then a kid dying, a kid so young, a kid that is so young. Death shouldn't even be a thing for him at that age. That is what is darker than an older woman dying. But she did die for the cause though. Next thing we're going to talk about is the character lineup that we know. Well, I'm only going to say the most important ones. So obviously we've got Miles Morales and Peter Parker still kicking. We have Venom, and if you didn't know, that is going to be Harry Osborn as Venom. Harry Osborn as Venom. And we've got Norman Osborn, which, well, I think he will be. He most definitely could appear as the Green Goblin because he had the prototype grenades in the lab, and that is also important to this theory. That's really the only important characters for this theory. So if you didn't know this, then get to know. But one way that Miles Morales dies in the comic is he gets killed by a villain called the Red Goblin. And if you didn't know, the Red Goblin is when the Carnage symbiote comes in. Right, the Red Goblin is when the Carnage symbiote takes over Norman Osborn as the Green Goblin, which then makes the Red Goblin. He's the most powerful goblin, and he's one of the most powerful forms of Carnage too. He was able to kill Miles. That is pretty dark to me. That is the only thing that I can think of that could be darker than Spider-Man 1 is Miles' death, and that a way that he can die is from the Red Goblin, and the Red Goblin could easily be made in Spider-Man 2. He only needs the offspring of Venom, and with Venom being his own son, how easy would that be for him to get the Carnage symbiote? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Do you know what I mean? So this could also be a reason for Venom to team up with Spider-Man to defeat the Red Goblin, as he is one of the most powerful beings. He would be the most powerful out of all of these characters, so that is probably the reason of Venom teaming up with the guys, or maybe just Peter if Miles is dead by then. But yeah, I really think that Carnage will be in it. Miles will, if Carnage is in it, as soon as you see Carnage in Spider-Man 2, just know that it's over for Miles, unfortunately. It could go different ways, obviously, that's just comic book stuff, but obviously it's a game about the comics. And we've already had a full game on Miles, so it's not as if like, oh, he's only just been Spider-Man for a little bit. Like, we've had enough of Miles for him to die, for it to be a tragic character death. They would do it. That would be an amazing story. That could be why Spider-Man goes sicko mode. We could see symbiote Spider-Man as well. You never know. Never know. But yeah, that's the theory. And I really do think that is going to happen in Spider-Man 2. It is the 22nd of November 2021, and I've already called it.